In this video, we'll be taking you through our journey in southern Utah and its many national parks, brief stop in Nevada, and capping it off with a few days in Joshua Tree, California. If you could, like and subscribe. Stick around to hear our honest thoughts on life in the desert. They don't have AC here in Pioneer Town.
It's too deserty for me. It's too... I mean, it's beautiful. I would come back and visit in a heartbeat.
We got ants. There's nothing going on. We're just at a golf course. That's what's happening right now. I have a problem with Cheez-Its. Can't normally have them in the house, but we had a little snack bag, so of course I was gonna devour that. So we just took our picture next to the Arches National Park sign. It's kind of a thing we do in every park we go to. Very nice so far, just at the entrance. However, it is currently, let's see if I can get this on camera, 103 degrees. And it's not even like dead sun. I mean, it's overcast as shit right now. Yeah. It's rough out there. That's why we're gonna be hiking quite early in the morning, but more on that later. Good morning. We are up early to beat the heat this morning. It's gonna be another 100+ day today here in Moab, Utah. Yeah, we're gonna go see if we can't get any hikes in before the sun is up. I've not had coffee. I'm trying not to have an attitude about it. So our goal is to get a couple of short hikes in today. We're gonna be in Moab for a few days, so between here and Canyonlands, we'll try and get as much, I guess, early morning hiking in as we can, particularly with Arches, because you need a timed reservation. It's early. All right, so it is 9:25 and we're done for the day. How you feel?
Accomplished.
So we got 2 hikes in this morning. First one was the North and South Windows Trail. Very easy. Nice little stroll to watch the sunrise. Despite the colorful ways that we will go on to share our feelings about the desert in this video, 2 things cannot be taken away from it. 1, the desert is hauntingly beautiful, and 2, sunrises are pretty spectacular. We got to the Delicate Arches trailhead and started hiking at 7, which is on the later side for such a popular hike. And I'll drop in some footage of just exactly how busy it was when we finally got to the Delicate Arch. She still hasn't realized it yet. That's her future. What? I was surprised it took you this long to realize it, because you could see it from like the trail entrance.
What the heck?
It's not even a real scramble. You're just walking up the rock. That's it.
I would prefer scramble because you got things to hold on to. This is
But
straight up
but it's flat. It's flat. You don't have to, hand hold or nothing.
Okay.
Okay. And again.
Don't say that. Say that on my camera.
Let's go. What do you think?
I mean, it's pretty, but you gotta come early if you want to get a picture.
You want to get a picture over there? You gotta get here early. No, we weren't surprised to see it this crowded. We know better than to show up this popular of a hike anytime after sunrise. But at least the petroglyphs were cool. We actually managed to get off trail at a certain point. It's a good lesson, a good reminder, just because when a trail is crowded and when a trail doesn't have a ton of markings, it's easy to follow the wrong people in the wrong direction. And that's what ended up happening to us. And then I had to find a way to get us back to the actual trail, which wasn't fun. I didn't love that. And this guy is not gonna leave me any room to get out of here, but that's fine. But yeah, we made it to the Delicate Arches, saw a nice overlook, and we're done for the day. We're figuring out what we're gonna do with the next time that we're in Arches, some point this weekend.
Yeah.
I think it might be time for some coffee and tea. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. Good morning from Canyonlands National Park. We are well into our first hike, our only hike really today. Yeah, we're spending the day in Canyonlands in the one of 3 distinct sections of the park known as Island in the Sky. There's a Karen. Big difference from the other day in Arches, right?
Yeah.
We haven't seen a single person on trail yet. We've only seen one other car in the parking area. It's a little different out here today. Nice so far. We just had a guy yelling into the the canyon as we're hiking so he could hear his own echo. He's up there more towards the road. He was very much enjoying hearing himself echo. And so we tried to yell back towards the end, but didn't have the effect we were hoping it would. So we were just talking about, you know, more things that could possibly take Pearl down. There's been in the news recently, maybe not the news, but definitely hiker and outdoors news, reports in California in particular of marmots climbing up into parts of the chassis of people's cars when they're parked and out hiking and whatnot. I was saying
They like the smell of the engine.
when we get to California, that could be what finally takes Pearl down. In which case, I mean, shout out to the marmots. I'm not going to complain.
I mean, that's fine, but I also don't want to be driving and all of a sudden see this little head pop out of the air conditioning vent or something.
I mean, that's like Christmas vacation shit. That's not like, that can't be real. I mean, that would be something.
It sure would.
That would be something. No, I'm thinking more like they chew through part of the engine or something, and I can't turn Pearl on.
One took a ride all the way to Arizona.
Yeah, that's true. They do. They just kind of hang out in there. Which, I mean, look, hitchhiking is a lost art in a lot of the world. Marmots are bringing it back.
Everybody needs a home.
Everybody needs a home. Someone did a bunch of light scrambling on a Sunday morning. How do you feel? Accomplished? Yeah. Good. You should. Yeah. There's more where that came from. Not today, but there's more where that came from. So get used to it. Well, good morning. We're back in Arches, and we're hiking early again. It's super exciting. Yeah, we're doing Devil's Garden Trail. It's our last full day in the Moab area. Decided to do a little bit longer hike this morning, so we are out here. The sun is just coming up. Nice out here so far. I'll let you know in an hour or two how it is. This has been sort of the new routine lately. Is we're up, we do our thing, whether it's a hike or whatever, and then the heat comes on, and then we're off to other things. Today I'm going to take you through a little bit of sort of a day in the life of our new routine out here in the desert. That's going to be our routine for the next probably 2 weeks as we leave Utah and head into California. How you feeling this morning? So I 4 deer immediately as soon as we made the first turn on the trailhead. The routine we've sort of been in is nice, I think. And the problem with it, like most adults, this whole caffeine addiction that I got makes the mornings unpleasant. Would you agree?
I mean, we could have caffeine before we leave, but coffee, you know.
That spells trouble for your boy. We're 3-4 miles into a hike, and all of a sudden the coffee starts running through me. That's no bueno.
Makes me pee, so I don't want to do that either.
Yeah, so we opt for no caffeine before a hike. Adds a little bit of a level of difficulty to the journey. I just gotta love walking in sand when you have shoes on. Isn't it fun? Hoping that the sand kind of turns to something a little bit more solid soon. I'm not optimistic. For the time being, it sure sucks a bag of dicks when you know you still have a whole bunch of trail left, but you gotta walk through sand first. And then we get to have some real fun, right?
Yeah. Let's go on.
It's gonna be fun. How you doing?
Barely made it. Barely made that.
2 scrambles in the books. We're doing well so far. Right? Yeah. So don't mind us. We've made it to the point where we're ridge walking. Look at that view. That's pretty sick. How you doing, buddy?
Great.
Here's where we're walking. We're having a good ass time. That's all. How you doing?
What's wrong with us? Everyone's looking at us like we got 4 heads.
Whatever.
It's so annoying. We're here.
You gotta stop giving a shit. That was a real ass moment you just saw. So we are done hiking now. Oh, look at that! Look,
Just put your cheek out for me.
I sure did.
You shit.
So we're done hiking. We now have caffeine in hand, which is good. I may or may not have yelled at somebody in the parking lot when we were getting ready to leave the trailhead. This whole like asking people for their parking spot, I don't care for it. It's not that I don't want to like do somebody a favor. It's the fact that like I just got done hiking. I'm not going to be rushed out of the spot. And it's kind of pissing me off. It happened in Rocky Mountain National Park too. And there were truly no parking spots left. But here in Arches, I mean, right, there were.
Yeah, you just had to drive down a little bit, and there was at least 20 spots.
I mean, there was a lot of spots available. It's just he purely didn't want to.
We literally just walked off the trail.
That's the thing. Yeah,
so,
it was a little like
we have to take our shoes off, have a snack, get ourselves situated.
Yeah, we wanted to like rest for a minute, which I don't think is unreasonable. And this guy is in a one-way lane driving and wanting our parking spot, so he doesn't have to walk an extra 20 feet. Go fuck yourself. It's crazy. I would never do that.
So we lied and we said that we were just getting there.
So yeah, he's like, you folks just getting here or heading out? And I was like, oh, we just got here. And I'm sweaty as shit. Like, clearly I'm lying.
I had
like,
just taken off my hiking shirt.
Right, like, we're clearly lying. But it's more the principle of, like, don't do that. It's not
literally
fun.
just walked. I just, yeah.
It's inconsiderate. I would, personally, I would never do something like that.
I would drive around a couple times.
I would drive around. We did yesterday.
Yeah.
In that one lookout point in Canyonlands National Park, we circled the parking lot twice.
Yeah.
Rather than stand there behind somebody, hey, you guys leaving?
Yeah.
No, fuck you. So then we get to the coffee shop. Finally, caffeine is within arm's reach. And then this dude just starts like going in reverse through the entire parking lot. And it's a tight square, right? I mean, it's a tight area. And just starts driving in reverse with no regard for the fact that I'm like half in the street, half in the parking lot. And there's cars coming. I may or may not have yelled at that gentleman too. I'm not an angry person. It's just don't do stupid things or inconsiderate things. And then we'll be all good. So now we're gonna eat a little something. And then
We're going to the pool.
we're enjoying ourselves at the pool. Say hi.
Hi.
Karen still hasn't fully gone in yet. And it's been, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. 25 minutes. Takes you a little bit. I was just in the hot tub, and yes, it's about 100 degrees outside, and the hot tub is about 102. But I don't know, it just feels good. It's almost time for me to call it quits. You think you'll be in the pool by the time I leave? Maybe. I don't know. I have my doubts. It's been a productive afternoon and evening. Got some work done, made some dinner. Now we're kind of getting our stuff ready because we are heading out of the Moab area tomorrow morning. And we have kind of a big day tomorrow. Decided to kind of just take it easy tonight. I decided to treat myself to some Cheez-Its, of course. That's more or less what the days have kind of looked like recently. It's been, what?
Cheez-Its.
No, not Cheez-Its. No, that's the first time I've had Cheez-Its in probably 2 weeks. It's been a little while since I've had Cheez-Its.
I know, it's just funny the way.
Yeah, I have a problem with Cheez-Its. I don't know if I've actually mentioned that on here yet, but I do have a little problem. Can't normally have them in the house, but we had a little snack bag, so of course I was gonna devour that. Long day tomorrow, and we're gonna rest up before that, so we'll check in then. See you tomorrow. Good night. We are on our way out of Moab. We stopped in town to get coffee and tea and, you know, some treats because we can't help ourselves sometimes. And this is the cinnamon roll we got. Look at the size of that thing.
I'm not even sure how to eat it.
For comparison, here's my hand. It's a rather large cinnamon roll.
And it's hot.
And it's hot. How you feeling?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Ready to devour this thing?
I'm gonna take a bite, yeah.
Okay. So we've officially left Moab. We are on our way to the other side of Utah. We're staying in a town called Laverkin. That's in the Zion National Park region. On our way there, however, we are going to be making a stop at Bryce Canyon National Park. We were initially thinking when we booked this place that we would be kind of skipping over Bryce Canyon, but after talking to some people, doing some more research, we had to figure a way to make it work. So we're going to drive through there, do a shorter hike, you know, make sure that we see it before we spend a couple days in the Zion area. How did you like Moab?
It was good.
It was good. What did you think of Arches and Canyonlands?
I mean, they were beautiful arches
Yeah.
in the canyon. But I think, for me, I'm one and done with it.
Yeah.
So.
With Arches or Canyonland?
Probably Arches. Canyonland, we could do the other region of it because
Yeah.
there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Arches I think I'm done with.
Yeah, I kind of agree. From a coming back in the future perspective, what?
I did enjoy the fact that I didn't have to worry about bison on the trail or bears on the trail or anything of that nature. So for that aspect, I had a great time hiking.
That keeps things interesting, though.
Yes.
In any event, it's relatively small. There's no real backcountry opportunities for like camping or, you know, any sort of off-trail hiking or anything like that. So, because 95% of the park is like a nature preserve, which is great. But from a returning back there perspective, not in a huge rush sort of thing. We did some of the shorter hikes, and we did the Devil's Garden yesterday, so we saw quite a bit on that trail. Because that's one of the bigger hikes in the park. And we did the entire thing, which was fun. Talk about being out of the sun and in nature's AC down here.
You video?
Yeah.
Oh. Me? I'm sorry.
We are in Bryce Canyon National Park. It's one of the crazier looking places I've ever seen. I'll tell you what I mean. It sort of just looks like, I don't know, like a movie about like in a planet or something like that. It's pretty wild looking. Of course, the one day that we don't have our rain jackets in our pack, it's thundering and definitely gonna be raining soon. It was sunny when we left the car. Well, now it's not. So that'll be fun. Well, it has officially started to drizzle. Question is, just how much is it gonna rain before we end the hike? Luckily, that wasn't necessary, and we got to finish out our hike in this truly wonderful place that I can honestly say took both of us by surprise. Looking back on our time in Utah now, I can honestly say that Bryce Canyon is a place we would have loved to have spent more time, and it is a place we will definitely be going back. And if you find yourself in southern Utah, it's a must stop. Oh, and if you've been following our journey up to this point, this next part shouldn't be a surprise to you. You okay? Yeah. Enjoying the cows?
They're all out there.
Good morning. I'm out for a run, and it is already in the 90s. We got into town last night. I think we've run into our first kind of issue. We got ants. We noticed the traps last night, but this morning there's just a shit ton of them. They are everywhere. Look, you know, it happens. We also would rather not have to deal with that, given that we paid to stay somewhere indoors. For camping, different story. I contacted our Airbnb host about it. We're gonna see how that goes. Hopefully I have an answer by the time I get back, if I don't die of heat exhaustion by then. We are currently at the Sand Hollow Resort, looking for something that I think doesn't exist. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if we can go inside. I didn't see anybody inside, so I have no idea what's happening right now. Today is July 24th, 2024. In the state of Utah, July 24th is kind of a big deal. It's Pioneer Day, celebrating Brigham Young settling here. There's supposed to be a Pioneer Day celebration of some kind. I feel like these other people are about to find out the same thing we just did.
Yeah. There's a whole shitload
With
of people
vendors and all sorts of shit, and there's nobody here. And it's been supposed to have been going on for a couple of hours now, but there is nobody here. And there's people coming in, and I think they're about to realize what we just did, that the event was canceled. So that's what's happening now. We drove out here for essentially a canceled event, and I think all these people might have as well. It's gonna be real fun to see what happens now. Luckily, it's not that far from where we're staying, but still, it's...
Maybe now we should go get a drink.
There's there's nothing going on. We're just at a golf course. That's what's happening right now. One of our new friends went in and checked with the clubhouse staff. Apparently the event was canceled this past week. Nothing posted online about it, which is kind of...
If there was, we missed it completely. Because we did look at that site twice. Once today.
But I saw on like the some local news outlet website that it was happening.
Oh,
it was
okay.
posted like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
So That was where I got the idea in the first place.
Right.
So, no Pioneer Day celebration for us. We were looking at, you know, food vendors and live music and
Maybe some ice cream.
maybe some ice cream. Tomorrow, we are heading to Zion National Park, but we're not going to be hiking. So we'll have more information on that tomorrow. Today is the day we justify bringing our bikes on this adventure. We are in Zion National Park. We are currently riding on a road that cars aren't allowed on. It's shuttle season. So we decided to bike through the park today instead. So we didn't miss out on it. So it turns out the bikes were a good call after all. How you doing?
Great.
Are you hating it?
No, I'm actually not hating it. I'm not.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
It was a little tricky in the beginning, but I'm sorry.
Glad I got that one on camera.
It was hard.
Let's keep it moving.
Okay.
So we made it to the end of Zion Canyon Road.
There's a map there. Do you want to look at it or no?
Yeah, let's look at that. And now we're gonna do the short riverside walk to the Narrows before biking back. How you feeling?
I feel good. It was nice.
Yeah. We're on our way back out of the park now. Oh, there's a deer. About the 50th one we've seen today. On our way back out of the park, and the views are sick. This is, it's weird because no cars are on here, it feels like you're doing something illegal. You're not, but it feels a little like you are. And it's kind of fun. And then add these views in, and it ain't bad. It ain't bad at all. Morning, everyone. How we all doing? Y'all good? All right, so we are back at the visitor center. What did you just say?
I'm glad we had the bikes.
I am too. It's the first time, literally the first time all trip that we've had that feeling of actually not seeing the bikes as a hindrance to our experience, but it's the reason we were able to have the experience we did.
Yeah.
Riding through was fun, I
Yeah,
think,
you
right?
see a lot more, honestly. If you're on the show, you can't see anything. You can't pull over or nothing.
Yeah. And then you got people eating and their crumbs falling all over you like we had in Rocky Mountain National Park. Definitely a cool, unique way to see the park. We did the short walk out to the Narrows and saw how crowded that was getting. And we got to leave on our own schedule and
Now we're done.
bike downhill. And now it's like 9:30 and we're done. The parking lot assholes are at it again.
Man,
We just had another one. Guy was waiting for a while.
We didn't lie because we actually are going back inside.
Yeah, but we also we had spies this time. Like, so the
Yeah,
lady
we
was
did.
spying on us. Crazy. That guy must have looped around 3 times. And then he sat there and waited. And I said, "Told you we weren't leaving," and walked away. People are great. People are just great. Good morning again from Zion National Park. So you remember all the kind things we said about the bikes yesterday? Well, fuck that.
Shit happened.
At least my bike. Fuck my bike. That piece of shit. So we get to the park this morning. We're probably about 10 minutes earlier even than we were yesterday, which is great. We make great time. Get to the park. My bike's front tire is flat. Again, and if you're keeping track, that's now the second flat tire. And we've ridden the bikes twice. 3 times. I don't even understand how it's happening. I really don't. I'm gonna have to get a closer look at it later, but now we basically took the shuttle to the hike that we wanted to do this morning. We're going from there. How you feeling?
Good.
Yeah,
Shuttle's not my favorite.
it wasn't ideal, but you know, it was quick. Like we're doing this morning is up to Scouts Lookout, which is the starting point for the famous Angel's Landing. They're doing a pilot program where you need a permit issued by a lottery to hike Angel's Landing, and your boy doesn't have a permit, so I'll get to see it, but I won't get to touch it, so to speak.
Not this time.
Not this time. We get up to the top of Scouts Lookout, and there's no one from the Park Service checking permits yet. So I had decided, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a shot, see if I can get back. Karen was gonna wait for me at the lookout, said goodbye, start to walk over there, and the dude who does work for the Park Service, who didn't have like, you know, full ranger attire, but works for the Park Service, was talking to a woman in front of me, saying that he's not actually checking the permits today, he's doing some other job up there, but that the rangers are on their way up and they check permits on the way down. So you need the permit and your ID. Not wanting to risk any sort of, you know, future visits to national parks, or even a fine or anything like that. Rather just do it at a time where I either have a permit or when you don't need a permit. And there's not as many people. Disappointing. Doesn't make it better when you're walking down, droves of people walking up, and people ask you, oh, did you do Angel's Landing? And it's like, no. I mean, should have just lied. It really is what we should have done. We should have just lied. What do they know? Yeah. One woman asked if we did it, and he said, no, we just went to the lookout. And she's like, oh, that's awesome, though. Which is the most condescending thing I've heard in quite a while. And your boy was not pleased about that. We're also sour about just not doing it. But I got to see Angel's Landing, and be doing it another time. So now we are walking back out of the canyon to the car. So if it was less crowded, would you have, and we had permits, or we went at a time when it's not permit required, would you have done it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about coming down and like people not respecting or, you know, working with you to get around, the way you have to do the chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there was nobody on there, or like that guy that we saw, I would have done it.
We talked to a guy who came down as we were getting up there, and he was just finishing up Angel's Landing. He gave us it's sort of a pointer to cut down on some time when you're here during shuttle season. Way to do it really is, if you can, stay at Zion Lodge. It's one shuttle stop before the grotto, the trailhead for ultimately leads to Angel's Landing. Get up super early and walk or jog over to the trailhead, hike up, and do Angel's Landing before the shuttles even start.
Yeah.
That's really the way to do it.
That first shuttle was packed, so.
We were on the first shuttle and it was packed. And even if we had our bikes, I mean, if we had our bikes, we would have gotten to the trailhead later than we did. So we would have really been screwed. But definitely do it next time when there's no permit required and less people would be ideal. You okay?
Yeah.
You running away from the turkey? Yep. Well, we depart Utah today, and I realize I haven't given you an update on the ant situation. So the day that we brought up the whole ant situation to the Airbnb host, they sent a pest control person out, and the ants have gotten far worse in our time here. Most of the time they were contained to just the bathroom, the one bathroom. Luckily there's another bathroom. As of what, yesterday? They were in the kitchen now. We've been sequestering our things. It's a tough situation when you don't have a whole lot of time and there is still livable space. We kind of made the call of like, all right, if it gets any worse than this, we have to leave.
Well,
and
if we find them in the bed, then we're out.
Well, yeah, if we found them in the bed. But again, it's like, if we were camping or something, different story that there's ants because we're in their territory. We pay to be inside for this particular place. So, you know, having the ants.
It's not very comforting. Yeah, I mean, they were pretty good with trying to take care of it. They sent somebody out, they put the gels in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So in that respect, I guess it was fine, but clearly it's an issue. They're all over.
But this is our first real issue, other than one Airbnb host in Niles, Michigan, who decided to shit talk me a little bit. Yeah, so but we'll leave that one alone. But we are off to California today, a long-awaited entrance to another state. We gotta go to the desert first.
I know.
So desert life continues for at least a few more days. We're just out here, Joshua Tree, first morning, just enjoying my coffee and I'm a happy camper mug. And we realized something, that my bike Now has 2 flat tires.